you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Bruins Vibes.
Bruins win the Stanley Cup. Going into the corner. But, oh, there goes a my God! Are you kidding me?
The sickest Boston Bruins podcast.
Sends it in, and it's Pasternak scores! Series winner for David Pasternak and the Bruins!
It's gonna be sick.
Hey, episode nueve. That's number 9 of the Bruins Vibes podcast here on the Sick Podcast Network. It's your guy, Brendan Sennott. There he is, the hockey scribe, the writer extraordinaire, the guru, Jimmy Murphy, who aptly predicted Bruins 5, Islanders 2. You called it, buddy. I thought I was looking good. I owe you some type of treat.
You owe me nothing. I didn't
Nothing.
call that score. I just said they win.
That's all right. You said you predicted the win, which for this team, that's a lot, thinking that they're going to win.
Not really. I mean, they define Jekyll and Hyde. That's what this team is, and they're a tease. And now what they're going to do is they're going to lure their fans back in to thinking there's hope when there's not. and I mean, it is what it is. Like, do we cue the Dennis Green sound clip right now?
I mean, we should have it ready every show.
We should probably. I mean, I think we should tell Jimmy and Shane, our great producers up in Montreal, to have that like just right there in the rotation.
You want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Yeah, like it's just they are what we thought they were. That's it. What do you want me to say? So
Let them
like
off the hook.
that's the Bruins. This what you saw tonight and what you saw the night before defines the Don Sweeney Boston Bruins. And
Yes.
we need when let's go through the game, do it. You guide this wherever you want, but let's make sure we get into what Don Sweeney did before this game.
Yeah, that's going to be the topic du jour. I mean, we could break down the game really quick here.
And I apologize too, Brendan. I don't mean to cut you up, but I apologize too. I looked everywhere. I have not been able to find the sound to send to our wonderful producer, Jimmy here in Montreal. If I could, I would have had it. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we'll explain it. I apologize. We don't have the sound to go with it. But then again, if we had grabbed the sound, Brendan, I'm sure knowing Jeremy Jacobs, he'd sue us. So that's that.
Probably. True statement. Well, it was nice to see the corpse of Charlie McAvoy resurface tonight. He actually looked like a serviceable hockey player tonight, played well. Interesting turnaround. I wonder if something got through to them on the aforementioned flight. You know, you put out a couple interesting tweets today and last night about that flight home from Ottawa. David Pasternak doing David Pasternak things. My thing about the fool's gold was, McAvoy playing well on the power play, which means we're going to be stuck with that till probably Christmas at the least now. So that bothers me. That's Fugazi, fool's gold, whatever you want to call it. And Jonas Korpisalo was out of his mind tonight. He played incredible.
Great. Yeah. Nobody's talking about that on social. I was surprised. I mean, he was amazing.
Yep. Maybe one of his best games as a pro, not just as a Bruin.
He's got a couple of those, though, this season.
Bruins come away with 5-2 win, and, they this is going to be ride the wave. And, again, this playing that well as they did tonight, if they do that and they, like you've said a million times, if they continue to be mid, my favorite word, it's going to be a waste because they're going to miss out on the talent that's in this draft and have a chance to kind of rejuvenate the franchise. So, yeah, it's fun to see, when you cheer for the Laundry, it's fun to see him win, but it's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first off with the game, I mean, credit to them. Showed a lot of resilience. They came back. They went down 2-0 early and came back and took that game over. But then again, look at the opponent. The Islanders are much like the Bruins are known when things go bad, they go bad fast and ugly, and it snowballs. And that's what we saw with the Islanders. It was much like the Bruins last night, right? So they're mirror teams almost, ironically. And you got one of their biggest rivals ever behind the bench in Patrick Waugh. But they're mirror teams. And I caution Bruins fans, be happy. I'm not taking anything away from the effort that those guys put in on the ice to get back in that game. Again, when we critique these games, Brendan, I want to make clear to the fans here, we're not knocking the players by any means
They're
because
doing
you
their
and I,
job.
we'd never sniff the NHL. Like
Correct.
I can't even imagine what it's like to have to uphold the what's the word I'm looking for, the standard to be an NHL player night in and night out. So let me just make that straight. My beef is with the people above them,
Right.
and it's going to continue to
Business side of it.
yeah, it's going to continue to be that way until they face it. So, we'll get into that in a second. I just want to say one thing I liked. You mentioned Charlie McAvoy there. You know what I liked about Charlie McAvoy tonight?
Tell me.
Well, was there? I'm just asking. Was there something like
It
maybe
seemed
where
like he didn't give a damn. He was doing his freelancing stuff. He
bingo,
was having fun.
bingo? See, that's why I was giving you the chance to guess what I
I'm
like.
smashed.
And we don't script this stuff. I mean, this was unplanned. We did not script that. I want everyone to know that. Brendan
I'm just
said,
smashed.
yeah, you are. You're wicked smart. That's it. Except when it comes to baseball, but that's another topic.
Oh God, here we go.
So, I'm just gonna say, yeah, he played. That was the first game I've seen really all season where Charlie McAvoy he just played. He played hockey. He felt the game. He went with it. He didn't think too much. He didn't hesitate. If he screwed up, so be it. On to the next shift. Charlie McAvoy played his game tonight, and he played hockey, and he enjoyed it. That's what the Bruins need. I don't know if it's possible to do that on a nightly basis with the roster around him, because I think he's sometimes forced into situations that aren't on a Stanley Cup contender, wouldn't be his responsibility. But tonight he was able to freelance, like you said. That's the key word. He was able to be himself. And I think a lot of the guys around him fed off that because let's face it, him, Pasta, Swayman, I'm not going to say Zadorov because I just refuse to say that he should be part of this
Fist
leadership core.
Elias.
I don't think he should be part of the leadership core either. I don't think those are necessarily core leaders on a Stanley Cup contender. But the three guys that I think the Bruins had in their minds who would be leaders when they completely transitioned out of the era that we saw so many great seasons from with Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci and Zdeno Chara, and the list goes on. Brad Marchand, of course. Those three guys stepped up tonight. The three leader cores. I mean, obviously Swayman wasn't in there, but those three guys. And you know what? I'm going to say last night.
Swayman did a hell of a job from the tunnel tonight. Let's give it to him.
And well, no, you know what? No, last night he was amazing. Yeah. And they sucked, but I thought he played great. And I agree with PJ Stock, who said the same thing. Yeah, the numbers don't show it, but that game could have been 14-2.
Agreed.
If not for Jeremy Swayman. So all I'm saying is the big guys are stepping up right now when they need them. Where that goes from here, I don't know. Can the surrounding parts around them survive what they're about to go through? We'll see. But tonight was a great example, specifically with McAvoy and Pasternak, where they stepped up.
Ethan, you're fired. But anyway, I think there was something to who returned tonight. And I'm going to go on a little sidebar here. There was some of the less educated. I'm going to be really nice. Now, screw it. You know what? Some of the idiot mouth breathers that are Boston Bruin or claim that they're Boston Bruin fans. When Lindholm got put on IR, and most anyone that knows hockey knew that was a transactional move to get them to call somebody up. But, you had the geniuses out there who called this guy expletives and, other words for kitty cats and all this other stuff. Give me a break. The guy fractured his kneecap. Obviously he overcompensated, aggravated something against the Blackhawks that night. But come on. This guy allows Charlie McAvoy to be the player that he is.
Bingo.
And, again, this Bruins team isn't going anywhere unless, Stan Bowman does a, owner of the Red Sox circa 1918 and trades them, McDavid and Draisaitl. But, for them to even be competitive, this is what you have to see. Pasta has to dominate, goaltending has to play well, and Lindholm and McAvoy have to control the back end. And McAvoy has to be able to freelance and not try, as you said via our text string tonight there, buddy, not try to be Ray Bork, which is what Brain Trust up on high tries to get him to be.
Yeah. I think, and now I guess we could transition into the pregame.
Yeah, let's transition to the Mr. GM there, Mr.
Yeah.
Harvard himself, Don Sweeney.
And that's a good segue by you. And it's like, look, I think one of the biggest problems, and it's not just Don Sweeney, it's the Boston Bruins under the Jacobs ownership. And this goes back to the many years under Sinden and then O'Connell, with a brief hiatus under Chiarelli, and then back to Sweeney Neely. They live in the past and they force feed the past into the present and the future. The big bad
Right.
Bruins, I was just being born. Is that ended? Or as it was coming to an end, it was in its prime and came to an end. I'm going to be 51 a week from tonight. And, that's great. I respect it. I wish I was alive to see it. It looked like a great time to watch the Boston Bruins. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. It was a great time. We had Cam Neely. We had Terry O'Reilly. We had Jay Miller. We had Lyndon Byers.
Adam Oates.
Adam Oates. We had Cam Neely. We had
Craig Janney.
Craig Janney. And I'm just thinking more tougher
Oh,
guys that could produce and score. We had, guys like that. We had guys like that continued
Steve Leach.
that continued the big bad Bruins era. And then it kind of went away, but they still tried to force it on him from let's say when Joe Thornton started to mature and started to go into his early 20s, they wanted Joe Thornton to be Cam Neely. Joe Thornton was never going to be Cam Neely. Joe Thornton is one of, arguably, I'm not arguing it. I think there's other guys that are better at playmaking than him, but you could argue he's one of the best playmakers since, let's say, 2005.
Fair.
Okay.
True statement.
Right? But I always classify Joe Thornton as a guy that was before him, Adam Oates. Joe Thornton was Adam Oates in Cam Neely's body. And the Bruins wanted him to be Cam Neely when he was Adam Oates. And they couldn't accept that. And sooner or later decide, okay, well, he's not going to be that guy we wanted, so we're going to scapegoat him. And because he lost a face-off on a random Tuesday night game in New Jersey, they called him up an hour later and traded him. So, in one of the worst trades ever, no offense to current Bruins head coach Marco Sturm and Wayne Primo and Brad Stewart, all very serviceable players. Marco Sturm played a pivotal role in the renaissance of the Bruins. But I'm just saying, he's no Joe Thornton. Joe Thornton's going to Hall of Fame. Marco Sturm's not. Brad Stewart's not. And Wayne Primo's not. Okay? And so here we are again where the Bruins are trying to force the past, I think, in Charlie McAvoy and make him Ray Bork. I don't think they know what to do with David Pastrnak because to them he's like a guy that beat them like a rented mule like Jaromir Jagr did in the early 90s, and they don't know what to do with him. And I think with Jeremy Swayman, they want him to be like Jerry Cheevers. Maybe he's not, maybe he is. I don't know. That's the jury's still out. But all I'm saying is the Bruins need to start accepting when they peg a guy as this is what I think he's going to be, and he doesn't turn out to be that guy, maybe don't pour it on him and say, okay, it's this guy's fault. We're going to trade him, or we're just going to continue to let the media and the fans go at him. Maybe build around them. Maybe say,
let them play to their strengths instead of what you want them to be.
Exactly.
And that's the symbol of a bad organization.
And that's a symbol of a team that doesn't know how to build a team. That's team building is not a strength in my eyes in the Boston Bruins for at least the last 20 to 30 years,
No.
with the exception of Pia Shirelli era. And what did I say 2 episodes ago or 3 episodes ago, Brendan?
Outside
When I
voice.
said, thank you. Okay, now I'm seeing that come about, and I'm seeing some other people in the media around Boston start to say, oh, maybe they need some. Yeah, you secretly watching the Bruins vibes here? Like, I mean, give credit where it's due. We're saying that here right now, and we've said it all along. This team needs to go outside the box once and for all. It's ridiculous what's going on right now. Don Sweeney came on that pregame with Nesson and literally threw his players under the bus. Who put that roster together?
You, Donnie.
Okay? And clearly, we now know that he was telling Marco Sturm to do the same thing for the last week or so when they had a bad game. We realized where the
Jimmy.
message is coming.
We are also both smart. Who got scratched tonight?
Mason Lohrei.
Mm.
Good
About
stuff.
6
We'll get
games
to that
too
in a
late.
second. But all I want to say is, watch out right now. Okay? The writing is on the wall. They are greasing the skids. I'm telling you this right now. They are greasing the skids to trade one of Pasternak, McAvoy, or Swayman if things don't get better here and they go down the tubes like we think they're going to. Okay? Forget tonight's win. It was an enigma, in my opinion. And if it's not, I'll eat crow, and I'll gladly admit it here. But I'm standing by this. If this season spirals and they're out of the playoff race by American Thanksgiving to Christmas to the New Year, right around there, I don't see one of Swayman or Pasta or McAvoy finishing the season with the Boston Bruins. One of those guys will be traded. That is my opinion. That is not inside intel. That is not me reporting as fact or as an inside scoop. That is strictly my opinion, but I am standing by it. If they are 10 points or more out of the playoffs by Thanksgiving, one of those 3 are traded by the end of this season.
Can we change the name of the podcast if it's pasta and do somebody else's vibes? Just saying.
What do you want to do, Al Dente?
I don't know. It's just like, not the Bruins vibes. I mean, because
Well, you'll lose it.
first of all, huh?
You'll lose it if they trade Pasta, is what you're saying.
Yeah, can I retire then from the show?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
I love doing it, and I think we're going somewhere with it, but I just, again, a guy who's different.
Dude, all I'm saying, I see Joe Thornton Part 2 coming up. Like, I've seen
agree.
this movie script. I've seen
But
it.
here's-
And the more I hear, the more I talk to people around the league, they're all thinking the same thing as me. And soon enough, they're going to start throwing offers for these guys at them. And one of these days, Don Sweeney is going to wake up and be like,
Getting what he thinks is king's ransom for one of them.
yeah.
And he's going to say yes.
Not that they got King's ransom for Joe Thornton, but I hope he
No.
gets better ransom for one of these guys. But like, it's going to happen, man. Like,
Well, from a hockey sense, you know what? If you want to trade one of them, obviously I go completely the other way. You trade Swayman because he has the most value, and there's some goaltending starved teams in this league who
and he
want
has
to win a
no
Stanley
trade.
Cup.
I mean, and his no trade clause doesn't kick in until
Correct.
July 1st.
And then you have McAvoy, who obviously isn't a fit with what the organization wants to do with him. So from a strictly hockey standpoint, you should possibly move on from him. I'm sure
lot
he
of
would waive
people are
his
gonna
no
argue-
trade to go play for his father-in-law in New York, who was his childhood team.
It's never going to happen.
And then you have Pasta, who's, as you said last night, when the
I think
when the
he's the guy.
Senators were beating the brains off him, you'd see Pasta getting traded and then winning the Conn Smythe with another team, and that would probably be spot on.
I think if I had to pick one of those guys, if we ever got to this point, again, all hypotheticals. I don't want to wake up tomorrow on social and see people claiming that I said these guys are going to be traded or one of them's going to be traded or I heard this and that. I'm just telling you, I talked to a lot of people. A lot of people are wondering. That's all I'll say. A lot of people around the league are wondering, are we going to see another Joe Thornton situation. They're not saying it's going to happen, but it's been brought up to me by people that are a lot more intelligent than me when it comes to hockey management and hockey ops. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? So please do not misquote me on this, but I'm telling you that it's weird. I like, based on some of the conversations I've had, I've envisioned it. I can see it happening because it's so Bruins. It's just what it is. It's
True.
when the management screws up, let's blame the superstar. That's
Yeah.
the way they do things here. And until they prove me wrong, I stand by that.
I think the one thing that you have to hope for as a Bruins fan, if you ever want this to change in your lifetime, is that the Jacobs and Delaware North sell the team.
That's never going to happen until, God forbid, somebody's not with us. And I don't want that.
Right.
But that's not going to happen. So let's just kind of put that out of the equation. Like, that's not going to happen.
Right. It's fantasy.
They've had their chances. I can tell you that. I mean, I know for a fact that a very big group, I'll put it this way, and you know what I'm talking about, Brendan, but I can't say it publicly.
Mhm.
I know for a fact that a well-known business group that owns sports teams expressed interest. And they were just like, peace, not happening. That's it. So
So what do
that.
back to hockey.
Well, no,
You
I
don't
want to
like
say one thing. I want to put this one thing, and I want to put it out there. Charlie Jacobs, repeatedly in the last few years, right, is taking a much more vocal role in these press conferences and expressed his confidence in the team and in Sweeney and Neely and said, we are committed to winning a Stanley Cup, and that is our goal every single year. Well, then I'm putting it out there. Back it up. Back it up, Charlie.
Yeah, eventually, we've said it ad nauseum. If you're running this business and this team like you say you are, like you tell your fans every year at the postmortem presser, when does the accountability fall on the front office who assembled the team?
Right.
And we've said it a million times. And it look, I like Don Sweeney as a player too in that era. Okay,
Oh, I loved
but
him. Steady as anything.
I was thinking that as I was watching the game tonight. Two guys that Cam Neely, I absolutely loved as a player. He was my favorite player. I liked him more than everyone loved Ray, but Cam scored goals, so he was the sexier of the two, right? When you were a kid, okay, and he fought all that stuff. He was just everyone, even the days when cable TV was just starting to grow. People outside of Boston knew who Cam Neely was because he would score 2 goals and he would beat the crap out of you. So my whole thing is the thought that I had was here are 2 guys that I really adored and really liked in Neely and Sweeney, and now it's like they disgust me from that perspective of how they've run this team. You know, trying to get more eggs out of the golden goose and not thinking that Bergeron and Krejci were going to play forever and not using what they know about the game of hockey. I mean, they've both forgotten more about the game of hockey than you and I could ever know, Jimmy. But again, they're caught up in some, as you've said, some type of delusional fantasy of this is the team that they have to build. And they're selling a persona or almost like a gimmick or a shtick. Whereas in the 2025-26 NHL, that's not what works. You need guys that can skate and put the puck in the net.
You need a combination of all of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But here we are. So it's maddening. And I can't imagine how fans feel. I mean, we're trying to be journalistic and whatnot to sit there and have to listen to that. And they're just like, really? Like the educated fans that, the Harrys and the Ethans. what can they think?
Exactly. I mean, and Brendan, this is what I go back to, and I know as a Bruins fan, you hate when I keep referencing them, and I'm not doing it as a slight to the Bruins or the Bruins fans. I'm just doing it as a perfect example. Like the Montreal Canadiens did exactly what you're asking, right? They did it in a
Drink
much
everybody.
tougher market than this. No, but don't you agree? I mean, put
Yes.
your fan allegiance aside.
And their front office just all got extended because they're doing a hell of a job.
Right. And do you not agree that none of that happens if Jeff Molson doesn't get behind them and have faith in dude, think about this. Jeff Molson hired or gave Jeff Gorton the permission within a short span of time, within days. He hired Jeff Gorton, and within days, Jeff Gorton hired Kent Hughes, right? So Jeff Molson sat down with Gorton. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. Maybe he sat down with both of them at the same time at some point. I don't know the story, and I apologize. But all I'm saying is Jeff Molson went into a meeting in 2021, right? When he's like, you know what? Times are changing, man. Like, I can't live off the prestige and the allure of the Canadians tradition and 24 Stanley Cups and all this and the Blue Blanc Rouge and all that stuff. I can't keep living off that and help this team go forward. I need a new vision. I need to sit down and interview people and really just listen to what they have to tell me, right? And he did that. And whatever Jeff Molson and Kent Hughes told him worked, right? And now we're seeing it work in action. Because let's agree. I mean, they're ahead of their rebuild right now.
Yeah.
3 years in, I mean, usually these rebuilds, people say it's 5 years, right? 3 years in, who knows? This could be a team that makes a little run in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're winning a cup, but this is a team that could go past the first round at least. All I'm saying is, and again, this goes back to what I said the other night. I'm not saying to fire Don Sweeney or Cam Neely. I'm just saying, could you step back out of your little bubble and just see things from a different perspective? Just look at it and say, wow, you know what? I didn't realize that. Let people come in. Even if you don't hire those guys. I'll tell you something, right? My co-host is Pierre McGuire on the eye test. And Pierre is interviewed for multiple. Yeah, he's interviewed for GM jobs, right? And one thing he comes out of his interviews and he'll always tell me, he'd be like, those bastards, they're probably not going to hire me, or maybe they will hire me, but whatever. I just gave them a bunch of ideas if they're smart. Because if you're that owner, if you're that committee interviewing these potential hockey ops people that you want to hire, right? No matter what you do with them, take notes. Because you're learning what the outside thinks of you. And that's what the Bruins need to do right now. I think that's the biggest key. Even if they don't make any changes, if I'm Don Sweeney or I'm Cam Neely and I'm on the road and I'm sitting there and I'm in a pub in Ottawa afterwards and I bump into Joe Sakic and I'm sitting there. What do you think of my team? Be honest with me, Joe. What do you think of my team? Do stuff like that. Get an outside perspective, because until you do, you're going to be in this cycle that you're in right now.
Well, here's the scary thing, and we talked about this in the preview show. Okay. They interviewed everybody and their brother before they hired Sturm to take this job. And you and I opined that maybe they didn't like what they were hearing from these guys about how they were going to handle the roster and what they were going to do. And then there was the hope that maybe those outside voices gave them some insight. And we talked about this, you and I think it was episode 1 or 2, and it hasn't happened. They were like, screw it.
Exactly.
I mean, like I said, they literally damn near interviewed my cousin's peewee coach. They had everybody in, and they finally settled on Sturm. And then I know, Mitch Love, and God, that was another train wreck of a story. he was considered, and there was a couple other guys in the running, and they went with Sturm. And we all love the Sturm hiring, and I still do. But what the hell did those coaches that they talked to, even just on the phone, like even if they talked to Rick Tocchet on the phone, and Tocchet was like, "Yeah, man, all you got is friggin' Pasta, Swayman. Zaka's nice, but a little soft, maybe, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you're screwed." Right? Like, Mitten was a nice haul getting him for Carlo. Okay. Right? Why hasn't it brought on change?
I don't know. And that's the thing. And look, like, I know people are thinking, I'm pretty sure the Bruins are thinking we're being hard on them. We're not necessarily being hard on them. I'm just trying to fathom, why can't you just look at things a bit differently?
Right.
You seem so adamant as to your decisions that they can never be wrong. Right? Tonight, Sweeney, it's just all the players' fault.
Right.
This guy's got to do that. That guy's got to do that. This guy needs to do that. We expected him to do that. He's got to step up and do that. What about you? Like, seriously, man. I'm not going to get so personal to say, but I'm far from perfect. And I wouldn't be sitting here having the privilege to be on the Bruins Vibes on the Sick Podcast Network with you, Brendan, and with Jimmy working the boards, and with the whole Sick Podcast Network, and what I do with Pierre Maguire and the eye test. I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't learn to say, wow, I was wrong. Like, I effed up. That's that. And like,
And those two guys seem incapable of doing it.
I'm not saying I succeed at doing it, but I try every day to learn from my mistakes or learn from advice that's given to me. Sometimes I'll say, hey, this guy, screw him. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And I literally believe that. And that's it. I'll push it aside, and that's that. But there's got to be times, man. We all know where there's times when you don't want to admit it, right? When we were growing up and our parents would say something to us, and they're right, but you don't want to admit it. Or, when your wife says something to you and she's right.
And that's
but you
more
don't
like it.
wanna
I was
admit
a perfect kid, Jimmy. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But
it. Well, I know you're not a perfect husband, and I know I wasn't, because I'm divorced. So I didn't say you're not a good husband. Remember that, okay? I don't want to.
all right, carry on.
Yes.
Bro.
But all I'm saying is, there are times when you got to just say, hey, that's not a bad idea. Let me see what I can do to incorporate it into my plan. And that's where I think the Bruins are going wrong right now. I think, I know we're getting philosophical and all this, but I look at this game, and then I look at the last game, and I look at what I think is going to be the next 3 games. It's a mishmash. It's whatever. These next 3 games, if you're betting, man, do you even go near the Boston Bruins right now? Like, if you're a serious handicapper,
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch it,
You told me about what you did the other day. My wife was livid.
right?
That story. She felt bad for you, but she was like, that idiot.
Right. And I'll say it right now. I went against them. I'm saying it right now. I went against them. And they're like, oh, no, that's right. We're going to beat a team that's far superior to us in the Colorado Avalanche. We're going to just, dominate them and have one of our best games of the year against them. That's the Bruins right now. Do not go near them if you're a betting person right now. Okay?
No.
And for all you betting companies out there, you should be sponsors of us right now, because we're giving great advice. Do not go near the Boston Bruins if you bet, whether you're betting against them or for them or the over-under or anything. The only thing that I would touch on the Boston Bruins right now is David Pastrnak, 9 out of 10 times, registering a point.
Yes, sir. He's heading for another 50 goal. Oh, we do have to give credit where it's due. The Brendan Mush continues to be undefeated. Morgan Geekie is heading for a 50-goal season
God.
because of me.
Yep. Totally agree, man. Totally agree. Was it on here or was it privately where you just trashed him? I forget.
Privately.
Because the last 2 weeks of my life have been a blur because of what happened.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, no, it was privately. I said something like, God, my direct quote was, Geekie's lost it. And you responded with something to the effect of, is who he is or something. A Denny Green-esque line. But it
No,
wasn't.
no.
I was the one.
And then I said, but watch him go on a 30-goal tear right now.
Yeah, because the Brendan reverse mush is it's unprecedented.
Yeah, I mean, you did it before the show. You were trashing the Toronto Blue Jays. It was like 2-1 or 1-1 and 6-1 Blue Jays right now. Love it.
Yeah, which is why I've never gambled in my
Honestly,
life,
Brent,
and I
oh my
never
God,
will.
I'm thinking of something right now. Seriously, we got to get a betting
Segment.
sponsor. That's a segment right there.
Because then
The
you could do the
Brendan mush.
opposite of what I say, and I'll make you rich.
There you go. So there he goes. Get married. There you go.
Right. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
you know
go.
what? Yeah, we could do a segment, Brendan's advice segment, and I could like mush whoever. Yeah, so Brendan, Jimmy, my girlfriend of 5 years is asking me to propose. Yeah, dump her. Then then they live happily ever after. You know?
I wish I had a girlfriend of 5 years. All right, let's get to the questions, buddy, eh?
Yeah. Here's our guy Harry.
Or comments, as we call them here. Harry Mostaway.
It's difficult to get excited these days with the Bruins comeback, knowing the inconsistent play will continue. What do you think Bruins management does if the team is out of the playoffs at Thanksgiving?
I think we established that. Harry.
Yeah, trading somebody big.
Somebody big's going.
Ethan, my guy, even though he likes the Blue Jays, and he hurt my heart tonight. Has Husadinov earned a spot? He seems to always have a motor. I agree. Yes, keep him out there. Young, speed, but he's the anti-Bruin though. Sweeney, he's not a
Yeah.
grinder.
You know what it reminds me of? And neither guy seem to ever be able to just crack the lineup on a consistent basis. Vladimir Sabaka. And then who's the other Czech guy that just had to go back to Czech because the Bruins kept bouncing him? Who's the guy I can't think of right now? Little guy.
Malcolm?
Yes, there you go. Both guys I loved. Awesome fourth liners. I want them in my lineup every night because they're a little guy that the other team is coming in, and you got their tough guys coming in. Look at this guy's. I'm gonna have no problem with him.
I think Husi has a little more skill than those
And
aforementioned
then,
other two.
Uzi's got a lot more skill. Good, yeah, good on you for saying that. But all I'm saying is, the Bruins have a great job of identifying these little like buzzkills, so to speak, for the other team that are just going to come in buzzing like a chainsaw, and you won't even see it coming, and they ditch them. I liked Kuzi. Good call by Ethan.
Agreed. I understand, Ethan. If the Bruins miss the playoffs, Harry
Well,
again,
you
does Sweeney
forgot
get
to-
fired?
you
If
forgot
Charlie
to
Jacobs
read
indicated
who's-
the Bruins are expected to compete for the cup. What?
You forgot to say who's saying this.
Yeah, Harry. I said it was Harry.
No, you said Ethan.
No, but I was talking to Ethan because Ethan and I got a little thing going about the baseball on the
That's
side.
fine, but you gotta
But I said it was
credit
Harry.
Harry where
Yeah,
credit's
I
due.
knew it was our guy Harry again.
All right. But the listeners don't because they can't see that. That's all I'm saying.
You
Trust
let
me,
me quarterback. You be the
my
running
friend,
back.
my
Okay?
friend, I'm just giving you advice because I do this with Pierre. I forget sometimes too. Listeners can't see us. That's all.
It's the great Harry Mostaway.
That's right.
And
I think
to
that's
answer his
I
question,
think
we
that
love
should be
Harry.
his name from now on. He's just
Huh?
got that look. We just need to put a wizard hat on Harry there. It'd be great.
He does. He kind of looks like remember the baseball bunch? Remember when Tommy Lasorda
Yes.
was the
Harry, that's a compliment, buddy.
yes, absolutely. Harry remembers Tommy Lasorda.
All right, so let's read that question.
But no,
again.
he's not firing Sweet.
Yeah, it's not happening.
The best thing that could happen if some light dawns on Marblehead, as my mom says, would be again, they bring in a third voice, they give Sweeney a different title, and some outside guy runs the day-to-day and makes the trades and whatnot.
Or he keeps the title, and we don't know that the guy behind the scenes is running the show. Same
Right.
thing.
Right. Ethan, the guy. Probably not Harry. I don't think there'll be any changes until ownership starts to see lost profit tickets. Preach. Ethan knows.
Which they won't. And no offense to Bruins fans out there that I'm saying this, but you're too loyal.
Ethan, again, do you think you can honestly get Willander for Zaka? Probably not.
Ethan, can you either throw to us or throw me privately who the hell reported that, if anyone? Because that's not happening. Not happening. One guy I will tell you to keep an eye on, as I wrote today for RG. Is it still? Yeah. They love Victor Mancini.
Went on IR today, though.
Yeah, I know, but they've scouted him since his days at Omaha. So keep an eye on him.
Omaha. Harry again, the great Harry. If they have to make trades with their star players, so be it. You can't continue this way, although a little worried about this management team making the deal. You're darn tootin', my friend.
Harry, you're dead on, man. Hey, Jimmy, when you get a chance, I like Billy's comment because it goes to everything that Brendan was talking about earlier about McAvoy. I don't know if you can grab it there.
Billy,
It's a great point.
McAvoy didn't have to protect Lowry tonight. Yes. Now, here is the thing, and I know Marco Sturm has the stones too. Keep Lowry in that press box until you think he's ready. I don't care if it's a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Make him a black ace until he's going to manage the puck. They won't do it though. He'll be right back out there.
Brendan, no, it's not that they won't do it. It's can they do it, given injuries and all those things that can happen. There's a lot of things that could factor in that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, and I thought he was fine too. Aspero was fine. Callahan was fine. Play one of them.
Yeah.
And
By the way, I found out tonight that I'm not going to mention names or anything, but a buddy of mine knows Aspero's dad from Quebec. I didn't realize Aspero was from Quebec. Small world, whatever. But it was cool. Look, it's great to see a guy get his first game.
Look, he'll be out there Thursday because they probably should scratch Hampus and save him for Carolina. You don't need him. I mean, how much did he play tonight? Hampus played.
What do you mean you need him, but you're just suggesting load management?
Load management, yes. Hampus played 19:03.
I don't think the Bruins are in a position for load management, to be honest, Brendan. I love you, but I'm disagreeing with you. I think you got to play this like we're in April fighting for a playoff spot right now. I really do. If you look ahead to their schedule, look ahead to the month of November, okay, and look at their schedule, and tell me that it's not important to rack up 2 more points before November starts.
Well, I'm in the T-shirt that I'm going to have made called "Malaise for McKenna." The malaise for McKenna. I want him resting because Buffalo's playing better than we were. We buried the Sabres last week, and all of a sudden they're showing some life.
Yeah, that's better than a certain guy from WEI who claimed that Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak were having a fight and they hated each other.
Oh, yeah.
He put a thing up today to say gagging for McKenna. Like, that's all I'll say. He's an idiot.
Oh, yeah. That guy's a douche.
All right, go on.
What else we got? Ethan again. I think if management just came out and said they're committed to a rebuild, then a lot of Bruins fans would understand and be excited about it rather than lying to our faces about the team. Man, we have some educated listeners. Damn right.
Ethan, bingo. Why can they not just see this? This is why I keep going back to the Montreal thing. If Montreal Canadiens fans can be like, cool, let's do it. Let's see how it goes.
Do it.
Because what do they have? The Alouettes? CF Montreal? I mean, at least you Bruins fans have the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Patriots. I mean, whatever. Like, you got college hockey. They got nothing. That's all they live by. And they were willing to be patient and do it, and look at how it's paid off. God bless you, Ethan.
So anyway, Jimmy, you'll get a kick out of this. So
we're having a comment battle between Harry and Ethan here right now.
Love it. But my boy Mark Allred, brilliant gentleman and scholar, follower of the show, covers the P Bruins. He just tweeted that Pierre LeBrun said on Insider Trading tonight that the Bruins see Pavel Zacha as a long-term fit.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
bring that up. Try and extend him this summer.
Yeah, that was early today. With all due respect to Pierre LeBrun, I don't believe that.
But we should have Mark on. He's clearly a brilliant guy. He said I'm handsome, so right.
He's a twin. He's a twin. I'll just say this. I'll say one thing I've noticed from talking trying to dig in for what right now. A lot of teams over the last week are in put the fire out. Put the fire out. Teams like the Bruins, like Calgary, like Edmonton, like Toronto. There's a lot of teams right now that are saying things to just quell the rumors. I
You know
can
who
tell you,
stinks?
I can tell you with extreme confidence right now that the Boston Bruins do love Pavel Zacha. They do value him as a valued member of their team,
He's having a great year so far.
but they're not closing the door to trade options. I'll tell you that. That's not happening.
Right. By the way, you know who stinks so far this year and they got housed again tonight? St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, and I don't go putting that on Jim Montgomery, Brennan, please.
I'm not.
Okay, because did you see who they just lost for 5 weeks too? Jake Neighbors,
Yes.
who's like seriously one of the most underrated, unknown, up and coming stars in the NHL.
They have some great
Honestly,
forwards.
that guy, if that guy stays healthy, he's a 30-goal scorer. Like my friend Ian Cameron, who hosts the Ice Guys gambling show, I highly suggest you guys take that in. If you ever want to win some money on hockey, go watch that. Even if you just want to learn, those guys do so much research. The Ice Guys with Alex Smith and Ian Cameron, and he's the best. It's they do this thing right where they do like a best bet, at the end of each show, or they do what they call a bargain bin special, Brennan. And one of Ian's favorite bargain bin specials. So if you're a bargain bin special, it has to be a player to score an anytime goal with plus 300 odds or above. So it can't be like a guy like Pasternak. You know what I mean? It's not a guy you know. Right. So Neighbors, Vegas has not caught on to Neighbors, even though he scores a lot. And he picks him a lot. And when he picks him, he always goes, "Won't you be my neighbor?" It's great.
I love any Mr. Rogers resets. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
it's great. And usually Neighbors is about like a plus 400 to 500 to score. So
Mr. Rogers or Mr. Robinson, who was better? Discuss.
he actually pitched Nick Robinson tonight was one of his picks.
You didn't get the joke. Eddie Murphy, Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, you're old. I do want to throw a random topic. I want our loyal listeners to get back to this on this.
I am old, by the way. I didn't. If you notice my T-shirt,
it's a great one. I wore mine last week. You didn't say nothing.
I didn't see it.
All right.
You're a B-Boys fan, buddy?
Oh my God, we've only been over this about it. Like,
God
you live
bless.
under power lines or something?
I did. I lived in Seabrook, New Hampshire. So.
You ate a lot of paint chips as a kid.
No, I lived by a nuclear power plant. So there we go.
We're from Springfield. Nope. No, anyway, random topic for the listeners. Next show. Tell me, a guy in the NHL, not on the Bruins, that just grinds your gears and you just want to see get rocked. He just bugs the piss out of you. I'm going to throw a name out there from mine because it popped into my head tonight. Kyle Palmieri. Like, can someone just truck this dude? Not injure him. He's like sand in your shoe, like a pebble in your shoe. He's just a pain in the ass. Anyway,
is he that guy? Is he that famous guy though that you say he's a pain in the ass unless he's on your team? Is he that guy to you? Like
not even that. Not even that Marchand like rat, like Cousins last night in Ottawa rat. There's a whole group of rats. I wouldn't consider Palmieri a rat. He always seems to kill the Bruins, and he's just a
Essetikinen.
Yeah, there you go. The original.
Mm-hmm.
That guy made me cry when I was in like 5th grade.
Oh God. I'm trying to think of other guys like that. Maybe the Bruins need more guys like that. They thought Tanner Jeannot was going to be that guy, but not yet.
It's off to a decent start though. All right. We got any
By
other
the way,
comments here?
Not just reminded me because I was actually having a similar conversation with him, texting back and forth as he was on Nesson tonight. Congrats to PJ Stock, new analyst.
He's great.
On Nesson. He's doing a great job. Love what he's doing there. PJ, for everyone out there, obviously a legend with the Boston Bruins fans and what he was as a Bruin, but one of the best guys I've ever met in my 25 years of covering hockey. And I'm not just
contractually obligated. Could he not come on with us? Or
we'll get PJ on here. No problem.
All right, good.
Not because he's my friend, but I'm just saying, like, this guy does so much for charity. He lost a brother to ALS, and he still does so much to help fight that disease. And I'm so happy for him. Like, and by the way, and I'm not just saying, I'll tell him, I'll be like, you suck. He didn't suck. I think he's doing a good job.
Yeah,
And
he
I
did
think,
a great job.
and it's almost like an extension, Brendan, of what we were saying when it comes to hockey ops with the Bruins, where they need an outside view. PJ's an outside view. He's a Montrealer, dude. He's been working in Montreal for like the last 10 years. So he's
Yeah.
coming in with a Canadian state of mind into a Bruins broadcast job and trying to flip that mindset. But what I've noticed is he's giving an objective point of view that I think the Nesson broadcast needed. And I
Yes.
like it.
You know what I also appreciate about him? He lets Sophia finish her thoughts. Anyway, inside joke between you and I. All right, we
See
got
what
any
I
other
did?
comments here
See what I did?
from Jimmy in Montreal?
See what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing
Yeah.
there, Brendan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he
All right.
is, Harry. As a Bruins fan, hate the Canadians, but remember Jeff Gordon when he was with the Bruins. That is someone you want in charge of your club. Yep.
Yeah.
You got it, Harry.
Yeah. Look, okay. I'm going to put it this way. Not poor Jeff Gordon now. Everything's turned out great for him and he's doing great. That situation with the Bruins, he knew, the Bruins knew, it was an understanding like, dude, you're the in between guy. And when we go out and we make our decision, you're gone. Thank you for doing this. And he did an amazing job behind the scenes there. Like, I'm not giving him full out credit. A lot of people like to say, oh, well, Jeff Gordon signed Zdeno Chara and Mark Savard. Let's pump the brakes there. Where did Zdeno Chara come from before he came to Boston?
Islanders.
No. No. Who's the team that blew the Bruins out 2 nights ago?
Oh, Ottawa.
Yes. Came from Ottawa. Who'd the Bruins GM that won the Stanley Cup? Where'd he come from? Okay. So let's pump the brakes when we're giving the credit to Jeff Gordon for Zdeno Chara. Let's just hold off. But what Jeff Gordon did do was facilitate all that and make it all legal. Because if he didn't, it would have been tampering. So all I'm saying is Jeff Gordon did a great job. A lot of people noticed that. And I think one of the best things that Jeff Gordon's done in his managerial career that we've been urging Don Sweeney and Cam Neely to do right now is be honest with his fans. What did Jeff Gordon do in 2018 before he traded Rick Nash to the Boston Bruins? Brendan, do you remember?
Tell me.
No, I want you to think because you're smarter than that.
Just, yeah, it's late, bro. Come on. Just go to
He
it.
wrote a letter to the fans. We're going to suck for the next 3 years. We're going to rebuild. Full out wrote a letter personally, not scripted by a PR person, not scripted by the team. He wrote a letter to the fans of the Rangers and said, we are going into a rebuild. Now that rebuild got interrupted about a year and a half later when Artemi Panarin made it clear that he wanted to come to the New York Rangers and nobody else, and they were able to sign him and then accelerated the rebuild and gave them the false image of where they are, and now they're stuck where they are. But all I'm saying is I've never seen a GM do that. It was amazing. Maybe some people in Boston could take notice of that. And I'll leave it at
Well,
that.
as Harry pointed out, the school where Don Sweeney went, those guys don't do that kind of thing. They always have to be the smartest guy in the room.
But isn't that being the smartest guy in the room right now?
Exactly. By the way, best Beastie Boys
That
album
comes
is
from
what?
a UMass. That comes from a UMass education right there, buddy. All right.
Best Beastie Boys album is what?
Oof, that's tough. Got to go check your head, but Paul's Boutique is right there.
I go Paul's Boutique, but also I like License Dale.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Honestly. Honestly. Rest in peace, MCA.
I heard he was from Brooklyn.
I think that was Ad Rock.
No,
No, it was MCA. I'm just
Ed
kidding.
Rock was from Manhattan. MCA
Yes,
is
it
from Brooklyn.
was. Yep.
All right,
Dude,
what
I
else we
wish I
got?
saw
Anything
a
else?
BC show with you, buddy. Back in the day.
We got anything else there, Jimmy, in Montreal?
I don't know. Oh, we got it. Ethan's got
Ethan,
more.
the man, the myth. Do you think it'd be smart for management to hire someone who has a very good resume with drafting for this upcoming draft with 2 high picks? Yeah, hell yeah. But
Yeah, of course, Ethan.
by the way, I know you look. I'm not trying to be. I'm gonna be a little contrarian with this statement. You know, I noticed. You know who's kind of putting his big boy pants on down Com Ave
Who?
so far this year? Dean Letourneau. He's I think he's got a point in every game. I mean, I'm not trying to get people all salivated or whatever that he's going to be the second coming of something like I'm sure he's painted out to be, but nice that the kid is showing some
Yeah,
potential.
it's great. It's great. He just went off track there to like some random
Dude,
BC's
it's after
hardcore.
11, man.
You went,
ADD,
yeah,
man.
you went like to a BC's hardcore album right there. God bless. No, good sit there. And Brendan, I'm glad you brought that up too. Like, let's talk more college too on this show because I know Ethan from his comments in the eye tests is a big fan of college, like me. Love to talk more of that. Let's talk more Bruins prospects because I think if all goes well, that's really what we should be focused on as we go forward here and we get into the dog days of this season.
And a little bit behind the curtain, a week from Saturday, I might be in East Lansing, Michigan to see the Penn State Nittany Lions play the number 1 Michigan
yeah,
State.
Gavin McKenna, huh? Nice, man.
I'll give you a
Nice.
scouting report.
That would
if
be
I go.
great. Yeah, let's do it. Maybe we'll do a little sporadic live broadcast. I don't care. Let's do it. Seriously, I'm not lying, man. I think that's good stuff. Like I think we need to talk more about that because I think right now, if we're going to be true to our word, you and I are about the future right now of
That's
the
right.
Boston Bruins. Not the present, not the past. We're about the future. So let's start looking at that stuff. I'm down with that, making it part of our show.
Yeah, so far I don't know how many 5-6 games in the season. Even Hagen's had a nice game last week. I think he had 2 goals. He's stepping it up. Letourneau's looked good. The other Bruins prospects, all of their prospects. And
You know what I want to watch is
it's
Zealot.
silly. If you want to see the Bruins in the future, go to Conti Forum instead of TV.
or just dude, go on ESPN Plus. That's one of the best things about ESPN Plus, man. I know ESPN's getting shit on right now, and truth be told, they did a horrible job of advertising Frozen Frenzy. I didn't hear about it until like 2 days ago.
Well, dude, there was a betting scandal in the NBA, so
Yeah, I know. So all I'm saying though is you can watch almost every college game. And I think that's what makes that worth it. You can watch a lot of NHL too, but
Yeah.
being able to watch college, considering how younger this league gets every year, I think is huge. So it's worth the money when you do ESPN Plus. And I don't work for them. I'm not trying to make money out of this saying that. But all I'm saying is a guy I want to watch too. And if any of our listeners and viewers have been watching him closely, next show, can we talk about him? Is Zellers at North Dakota. The guy they got in the Coyle trade.
yes.
That's a
Yeah,
guy.
BC has Northeastern on Thursday night at home.
Yep. I'll be going to Providence, UMass later this
There you go.
month here. So, and I'll be at the Friendship 4 as well. I don't know if there's any Bruins prospects in there. I'll have to double check in Belfast. Looking forward. Dude, we got to think about that. Sorry to ramble here. I know we're keeping Jimmy up and you guys up. What are we going to do when I'm 5 hours ahead?
Yo, man, I'm a warrior.
Are you going to? Oh, no. I think I'm going to be I'm going to need to be the warrior, buddy. Because when you want us to come on,
yeah. You'll be in
it's
Europe.
going to be like 4 or 5 in the morning or 3 in the morning for me to come on. So we'll figure something out.
We'll get a guest host.
No. We'll get one live broadcast where I will do it in the middle of the night. Other than that, we'll figure it out. It depends on my schedule, but we'll talk about that. But that's coming up. Like, we're with under a month now to that, so let's talk about it.
Yeah. BC plays UMass in a couple weeks at home. Oh, home and home.
That's right. Ethan's excited. You know, Ethan's a UMass guy like me.
Well, you know, nobody's perfect.
All right, buddy.
Anyway,
Let's get the
all
hell
right.
out.
Well, let's get the hell out of here. Let's call it a night. Another great show on the Sick Podcast Network. We are the Sickest Bruins podcast. Thanks to Jimmy back in Montreal. He's the guru, the hockey scribe extraordinaire. Jimmy Murphy, the Murph Doggy Dog. I'm your guy, Brendan Sennott. Bruins 5-2 over the Islanders. Have a good night.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Bruins Vibes on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.